Dan's new van stickered up. There, someone's made a right job of it. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, that van's expensive nowadays. Apparently a new transit van is near on 30 grand plus. Got a shed done yesterday. Yeah, we got all woods up. Need to organise someone for the roof. And everything's sort of panned out very good. You know, everything's in line, because it's always a little bit of a worry when you really don't know what you're doing. Yeah, it looks good. Still a big chunk at yard though. So we just need to clear up this area next. Because it's a dumping ground, isn't it? First job, Phil's fed cattle and then gone down to feed others at other farm, and we're bedding up with our little trusty dog. Get him in. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Get him in. She's very athletic. She's very good at what she does now. She just can keep them back. We just have to curb her nipping, and she doesn't now. She just sort of gives them a nuzzle. Sort of. Hey, babe. Good girl, good girl. Hey, get on! Carwell! Get in. Get in, get in. Cool. Quite a few winter jobs queued up. I mean, some of our machinery, especially the drilling up machinery, has had a bit of a rough take. The KRM had a fair rough take. It's done a lot of work this time. There's a few bearings on the wheels to replace. There's a few bearings on the they aren't buggered, but they're going on the Apico to replace. That's a fantastic piece of equipment. The mole plough, we've used it that much this back end that we've worn its leg out, so it needs a new leg and a new bullet. The 7-leg subsoiler, that's got to have repointed, and a bit of wearing metal on that. But it's a beautiful evening though. It's starting to dry out a bit. This land here did 3 tonne of, well, thereabouts, not of at Weybridge, but guessing trailers or one thing or another are looking at crop coming up the combine. We reckon this did about 3 tonne of spring barley, and we had a bit of an area here what didn't, we couldn't drill because it was too wet. And anyway, we've cultivated it, and to get it in with spring barley again as early as possible, sort of mid-March would be a good date. and people have asked me, why have you bought a set of rollers with paddles? And I think the original idea was to sort of go on overwintered ploughing or weathered ploughing and just sort of scratch it level and make a seed bed. But my idea is to sort of, if it was a dry back end, what we've got here, let me show you a little. There ain't as much as, bloody hell, it used to be a lawn on this field. Spring cropping it for a year or two, we're sort of starting to get the countdown. Bloody man, we are getting the countdown, because right, there's these little fellas growing here, and my idea was to come with the paddles in bone dry conditions and blitz them, you know, on them opportunities where it's real dry, so you aren't going to ball your rollers up. That's why. And oh, they were cheap. Oh. Phil graced them yesterday, and he's found a bit of a cracking frame what we'll address before we get going. Hey, dog's after an air look. And a few grease nipples what were a bit neglected, needed getting going and freeing off. But yeah, they were very, very good. We didn't pay a lot for them either. Oh, they're steel they were. Right, we'll have a look at these cattle you went through, because bloody hell, what a miserable day. You know, it's just horrible. Yeah, idea with our new rollers is to sort of come and paddle them paddles, we'd blitz them, knock them level, and show a bit more soil and a bit more fresh going to more seeds to sort of try and germinate them. There's a tenth of what I would expect to see at this time of year, so we may be starting to sort of win the battle. And in the spring barley last year, like I said, it did fantastic, and there wasn't a lot of blackgrass in among it, so they didn't shed a lot of seeds. But yeah, it's hard work on every land. We've got some land like this to drill yet with barley, and I just don't. I think we've missed the window now. I think the weather the seed drilling date of barley is gone on it. And if we do, it's going to be a fortnight of drying, which puts you into November. Well, I think it's gone then, hasn't it? On a bit of light land you could get away with drilling it with a massive seed rate, but not on bodied clay, I don't think. So I think it'll be a lot of people sort of been, I don't know, patiently left their land because of blackgrass and ryegrass reasons. Be a bit worried now, because it ain't going to go in as good as it did a fortnight 3 weeks ago. See, this is our first field of winter barley. I showed you, and it's a picture, absolute picture. Right, I'll just have a walk through these cattle and go see the Herefords down there. These cattle here, now it's turned wet and cold though, they aren't taking no fault whatsoever. Some mornings when it comes out and it's been a deluge of water and they're stood a little bit deep in their in mud, they look a bit sick for themselves. But even on a day like today, they've been grazing on a bit of Westerwald grass we drilled, and then they come up and pick on silage. So all they're getting is some sort of plainish silage and bit of pickings they can get off this Westerwald. But these cattle were born sort of January, February time, and some of them are fair things. But they'll be on farm at least another year. 12, 14 months at least. And then we'll be cashing these in. Well, we're toying with the idea of keeping the heifers and running another bull, but we need to sort of all have a talk about that, because it's going to be a little bit extra workload for everybody. You're getting wet all the time, aren't you? There's some fairish things. You look at this bullock on the left. To say it's only like 10 months old or 9 months old, it's a fair thing. And there's this scrag end here. Don't know which this came out. I'll have to have a look, but it's a plain bloody thing, is this. It was one at last calved though, to be fair. So, but it's gone backwards actually since we took it off its mother. And we've wormed them all. We wormed them all the other day. We dropped right bollock really. We had them inside, trading them for wire. And then which was a disaster because they run straight through it. And then we should have wormed them when we brought them out. Anyway, it wasn't a ball ache. We just fastened them in their corral here. And put some gates across and run them through, crush them, and just put a paw on wormer on them. But yeah, very pleased. Right, we'll go see cows now. I haven't been in them for a day or two. My dad and mum, they keep an eye on them. These are the first calves we had, the bullocks, and doing fantastic. To be fair, they aren't far off. We don't want to get them too fat. I've got a possibility of a butcher lad maybe interested in definitely the heifers, but I need to sort of pursue it a bit, because if he wants the bullocks as well, these buggers are nearly there. Like, there's one in here, a little tubby one, not getting too fat, I don't think. Christ, some of these are really making beef. This limmy here, this black limmy type, and ginger ones as well, are really filling in well. They're on some absolutely fantastic silage though, and a big ration of barley, and it's really pushing them on. My mate's tatey gang off for a go. It's been pissing down all morning, and they've just probably decided, let's go and get a trailer load or two. He's in fantastic shape. He hasn't lost much ground this season though. He went down. He sort of got a bit thin. Well, I won't say thin, but he's a big fella, isn't he? Yeah, he lost a bit of ground last previous season, but he's kept his weight up this time. The cows are in fantastic order. In fact, they don't want a lot of food. Well, they're getting out, but occasionally we bring a bale of silage. But yeah, he's in fantastic order, is this fella. His feet are good, he just stands well. Never hobbles about, he walks good. He, you know, got some years in him, a lot more years in him yet, hopefully. This oat straw, this spring oat straw, they love it, absolutely. They go mad on it. This bugger here, we call it skinny calf, and she never carries any weight whatsoever. And she has an absolute bang-on calf. Whether she's just that type or whether there is something wrong with her internally, but she always brings a calf on. She never suffers. So, I don't know, one of them. And we've wormed her, we've sort of treated her for fluke and everything. But she just doesn't carry any fat. Idea is when they really start making a mess in here, which they are now. It'll repair, but they're starting to make a right mess. We're going to strip graze a bit of fodder beet, In fact, I'm off to have a paddle in fodder beat now and see how far we are off lifting some. Yeah, quite pleased with my little herd. Bit disappointed with my fodder beat this year. Yields are going to be well down on last year, but it's got another month to bulk up. We were going to start lifting, I don't know, end of next week I had it in my head, but now I've had a real good walk in it. I think it needs to bulk up, because I think if we lifted it now, we'd be disappointed. But I have seen some people advertising it on Marketplace, and their heaps don't look very big neither. You know, it looks quite small this year, so whether it's season, not as much sun as it needed, I don't know. Or dry spell, the dry spell we had where it was a bit flagged. But I don't know, it might be different in a month. They reckon it puts a massive amount of weight on in October, don't they? This is where I scorched it bad. Anyway, the beat's there, but it let the nettles come through, which it looks a bit of a mess front road. We're having similar amount next year, and next door we're going to strip graze it. That's the idea with Herefords. That white stuff's blizzard, and we've got jam on the headlands. That's a bit bigger stuff, look. Oh God, you've got where again? That's a bit bigger stuff, but not as big as last year. Christ, are you all smeared? Not as big as last year. It was like bloody fucking horses' heads, wasn't it? We get our minerals off Mole Valley, and this is not a plug for him. Just get on with salesman really well. Get a lot of information off him on one thing or another. He's a real clued up lad. But these minerals are sound as well, so we give them. That's just a general purpose bucket for such as this stock and finishes, and then we get an high magnesium bucket for the cows in calf. But they aren't using much at all because they had a high magnesium bolus in their stomach, and they must be still drawing off that because they're using very few minerals whatsoever. But yeah, these are all up eating a bit of straw what we've bedded up in their corral and eating that silage now. So, but right, I'm knocking off for today. Put these in for this gang, and then tie this salt lick up on their feeder so they can lick it and not paddle it into mud, and off into York for afternoon for a few drinks and a meal hopefully. So yeah, quite look forward to it. Right, on that note, bye for now.